Hello world, Qapla, it's Birdo Prey 5, and welcome to Star Trek Saturday. Yes, another week, another Star Trek First Contact today. Welcome everybody. Joseph Patrick was here early, said thumb is blue, so waiting. Thank you, Joseph. Actor was actually first after I started, says Ola. 47 Yorktown says hello, sir. Cinnabon Bunny says hi. Hello to all of you. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Birdo Prey and chat. Greetings, Mike Richards. John DeMarco says hello to everyone. Welcome, John. Joseph says the line must be drawn here and no further. Anti-Trigger says, why does everyone hate this movie? Anti-Trigger, you're the only one on record as saying you hate this movie. Resolute Germ says, hi everyone. So Anti-Trigger, which do you hate more? You said you've hated First Contact and you liked The Rise of Skywalker. So which Anti-Trigger, which do you like better? First Contact or The Rise of Skywalker? Resolute Germ says, hi everyone. Actor says, damn it, I have to go to my chair. I have to go to my haircut. You have to go to your haircut in less than an hour. By that time, Joe will just be starting a review. Goddamn, actor, you're trying to make me jealous because you gotta go get your haircut? Thomas Potts for $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Thomas. Going shopping, enjoy the movie Anti-Trekker hates. Well, enjoy shopping, Thomas. Yes, it is that time of year. Thomas says, hello, Papa Ray. Anti-Trekker says First Contact is a better film than Return of Skywalker. Okay, because I wasn't sure, Anti-Trekker, because you did say you hated First Contact, and you did say you liked The Rise of Skywalker, so I just wasn't sure. Resolute says this is the best of the Star Trek movies. Many people believe that. I'm not one of them. Of the Next Generation movies, very possible. But not when you consider the first 6 original series movies. Sci-Fi Nations is greetings, Birdo Prey, Mamo Prey, Sassio Prey, and fellow nerds. And also Bird. PooTube flagged your comment as possible spam yesterday. But now it fixed and you're a channel mod, but not Anti-Trigger. Well, it's ridiculous. Why would YouTube... I mean, I know YouTube did it. I'm not saying they didn't. But you would think that a person who has a channel with 1,500 subscribers, putting out regular content, who's a moderator on dozens of other channels, why would they even think to put that through a spam check? Derek says Saturday night already. Not night. Not necessarily night. Saturday night will probably be Sci-Fi Nation. Actor says Joe is... No, I'm not Papa Ray. I'm sure he was talking about Anti-Trekker. Joseph says, Anti-Trekker wanted to tell you the Midnight's Edge stream was fantastic. Listen to it today. And Anti-Trekker says thank you to Joseph. I didn't even realize it was real Midnight's Edge until I heard Andre's voice. Andre has one of those voices that makes everything good. Actor says the version they uploaded later on is only the later half of the Mead stream. I missed the first half. Sci-Fi Nations and Bird of Prey has forever first. Hail Kuroga. Thank you. Yes. I was the first person ever to a Sci-Fi Nation live stream. Anti-Trigger says Rise of Skywalker is a 6 out of 10, and First Contact is a 7 out of 10. And Actor says, please say it's a 6.5, makes DJ happy. Well, in Anti-Trigger's initial assessment, he said a 6 or 7 out of 10. So, you know, it's close. So you're actually saying... It's pretty close. It's not even that it's 10 points or 5 points better. It's pretty close. That's very telling. And I do have to admit, I will admit I saw Rise of Skywalker myself. And later today, if all goes to plan, I will be putting out a short review of the film as well. And you guys can hear my honest opinions on it, which I'm not going to get into here. But yeah, it's interesting. I did not expect I'd see this movie for months, but I did. I did. Thank you to you know who, but if they're here, but thank you. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movie says, greetings and felicitations. Hip hip hooray, tally ho. And the Trigger says, yes, but after thinking about it, there are some deeper issues with the film. So 6 is more of a fair score. Fair enough, Anti-Trigger. Derek says, Rise of Skywalker is okay if you don't think about it too much. It's better than The Last Jedi. I agree. Anti-Trigger is saying Bird will give it a 9.5 out of 10. Oh, Anti-Trigger. Sci-Fi Nation says, okay, Anti-Trigger. You can be a mod, I guess. Just play nice. Yosef is still not sure when I will have a chance to see The Rise of Skywalker. Azine says, evening, Bird of Prey and fellow nerds. Welcome, Azine. Speaking of Azine and Anti-Trigger, you guys here, there was an update to Space Engineers, and it added windows. They added windows for small blocks. Small block windows, and also a large grid open cockpit that makes it look more like a Star Trek spaceship design instead of just a chair with a screen. So those were some interesting. I mean, the cockpit really doesn't change the play of the game. It just makes it look better. But the windows for small ships, that could be interesting, although not on any of my designs. Agger says, don't worry, Yosef, we'll be a couple of weeks more in Cartel. Agger says, hey, Azine. Azine says, oh, very cool. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, so I have my fan piece, but I haven't tried to open the computer yet. I was going to do that sometime after this stream today to try and get the computer up and running for tomorrow or late tonight. Actor says, wasn't Turtistan defeated a month ago? It's still the same. Yeah, well, Turtistan has been defeated, but since I can't get into the game, the round still continues. But Turtistan is surely defeated. Okay, so for the movie, I am again paused right around, what is it, 17 seconds? Like about 17 seconds into the movie, right when Viacom company comes on below the Paramount logo. So if you're going to be watching along with us, you go ahead and fast forward to this point in the movie. You'll see when you see a Viacom company come up a second or two later, that's where you pause it. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello in Qapla. Hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. You too. Agner says, it's the fan in the newer laptop. Well, the laptop, I can't run it for long because without a fan, it would burn. It's the GPU fan. It's making a terrible clicking noise, so it's not running well. And if I run it for too long, it would overheat. So I dare not run it for very long until I get the fan replaced. Sci-Fi Nation says, there you are, one of my mods now, Anti-Trigger. And Anti-Trigger, thanks, Sci-Fi Nation. Miss Lindell said, it'd be really cool if we could hear the theme music for this one. It would be really cool, but you know YouTube and copyrights and CBS and Paramount, they say no. They say no theme music for us. So we're going to just have to, well, hopefully you have your own copy, Mr. Lundell. You can watch along with us, but I'm going to be hitting play in about a minute or so. So those who want to get ready should get ready. Let's see. Let's get that up, and I have to get it up on my side. There we go. There we go. Okay. DJ says, Bird of Prey, just hum us the theme music. I don't know that I can do a proper... I will try, DJ. Joseph says this is, in his opinion, the second best Star Trek soundtrack. Actor says, seems Netflix removed all the Star Trek movies. You know, I'm not surprised. I'm betting CBS is starting to cut back on them, and they're going to all eventually only be on CBS All Access or perhaps Amazon Prime internationally. Beatbox it, Bird. Actor, you don't have a hard copy? I mean, how do you not have a hard copy of First Contact? John DeMarco says Goldsmith scores are always a win. And Miss Londell says, I have this movie on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. I think it got it covered. There you go, Miss Londell. There you go. Okay, so in 5 seconds, I'm going to hit play again. I am paused, say, 16 seconds in. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Dun dun. Paramount Pictures presents. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. I'm humming it as they asked.
What are you watching?
Star Trek First Contact.
Yeah. Did you watch Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters will probably come after we're done with Star Treks.
You shut it off and watch Ghostbusters.
No, I can't shut it off and watch Ghostbusters. Sister O'Prey is asking if we can switch to Ghostbusters. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Do do. Do do. Do do. Do do. Do do do. To be honest, Anti-Tracker, I think I know what a note is, but I'm not 100% sure. Sci-Fi Nation has this on VHS. Sci. Well, be kind and rewind. Joseph says John DeMarco, yes, the best is the motion picture, and second best is this one. And DJ was mad I wasn't humming it. Then he said, okay, that's better. He's resubscribing. Sci-Fi Nation says he's trying, DJ. Actor says, yes, that's this O'Prey in the background is bashing. Lol. Sci-Fi says, greetings, Sis O'Prey.
I mean, just take a vote. Maybe some people want to watch Ghostbusters.
Says DJ will pay for the kid. He said so.
Send a check. There.
She said you could send a check, DJ. Thank you. She'll accept checks. She also wants me to take a vote as to how many people would vote for Ghostbusters instead of Star Trek First Contact. So put a 1 in the chat if you want to switch to Ghostbusters, and 2 in the chat if you want to stay on Star Trek First Contact. 1 vote a person. And it started. Captain Picard is in the Borg alcove.
The librarian is in the basement of the library.
Sister O'Prey is telling me about the librarian in the basement of the library. Wrong movie.
Slowly, the Rolodex rolls out.
If you wanted to get everybody to switch movies, remind them about Sigourney Weaver. I don't think she's topless, but
Was that in Ghostbusters 2?
I don't think she's topless in any Ghostbusters. She does hover above the bed. This scene used to freak me out. It kind of still does. And now, why do you know about the Borg? He still has Borg tech in his brain. I think Dr. Crusher.
That's why you were excited about Hotel Borg when I went to Iceland.
Yes, that's why I was excited, because
Come on.
Sister-
I thought you knew something about Iceland.
Sister O'Prey went to Iceland like 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And I was like, where are you staying? She's like, I'm staying at Hotel Borg. And I was like, oh, cool, Hotel Borg. And she just got why I was excited about it being Hotel Borg.
What you said, you were like, it's one of the nicest hotels in Iceland.
I did say that. I said
I'm
it's
surprised that you knew.
I said it's one of the nicest hotels in Iceland. I was just assuming it was because of the name. And then we get a great shot of the Enterprise E. Beautiful shot of the Enterprise E. The moment Picard is dreaded for 6 years has arrived. It's hardly an invasion. One ship is hardly an invasion. How many ships? One. Did you like Ghostbusters 2016?
I said you can keep these. I'll put them somewhere if you're in the middle of here.
She's not answering. So the Enterprise has been ordered to the neutral zone. I can't do it for this one, Joseph. This one it's too long, the movies. Although we might have a solution soon. That's all I can say.
Apple turnovers? I don't feel like one.
Possibly as early as next week. And I'd say the twos took it. No, DJ.
What do you, just telling me? Well, I mean, it cooks down to nothing. If we were to cook that now.
You're right, Hector. I had no intention of counting the votes. It didn't matter. It was a foregone conclusion,
I was disappointed in the potato.
like every presidential election. Fascinating.
Maybe. This is possible.
Oh, and you got the closed captioning this time. So I don't have to even repeat all the words.
Alright. I'm gonna take one of these cheeses. What's your least favorite?
So they don't trust Picard.
There's the diamond with pepper in it.
Resolute Germ says, God, I love that ship. You know what? I do too. It is the best of the Next Generation ships.
No? I don't care. Okay, so I'll take the pepper one.
DJ says, today is a good day to die. They've engaged the Borg. Not the hotel. The alien race. Defiant. Yeah. You will. Who are you? Who are you two? You're gonna die. You don't want to be an unknown character at the beginning of a Star Trek movie. How can it be changing course if it was already on a direct path to Earth? Poor Hawk.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to object.
Would what?
Oh.
Here. Okay. Not in Florida. Was she coming in or not?
Yeah.
Nobody needs you to speak for them, Data.
Maybe I'll give her the heads up that I'm planning on being there for the eve.
And now the Romulans come through the neutral zone and attack the Federate. Oh, no. Wrong. Different movie. There's the Defiant.
Yeah, yeah.
There she is.
And I'm sure they will at some point.
Right out of Deep Space Nine. I love that Cisco didn't even go. He sent Worf. Perhaps today is a good day to die. Ramming speed.
No, I'm not taking it.
And the music changes. The Admiral's ship's been destroyed. They're beaming the Defiant survivors on board. They don't care about survivors from any of the other ships. What were they looking? Why didn't they have the screen on this entire time? They were just looking at a wall? See, honestly, the screen should be on 24/7. If there's nothing to see, you should just be seeing what's in front of the ship. So Picard knew something he never told anyone else.
Because he saw the wiggly lines at the right time. Picard.
Picard as ESP, you're saying?
And then he must have seen Picard. That's the part you're talking about.
Yes,
right?
that's
And
that's.
then he gets shocked and
He
spits it out.
gets an electrical shock by Bill Murray, because Bill Murray is has a crush on Dr. Crusher. So they're blowing up the Borg cube when the little Borg ball pops out. And the ball's headed to Earth. See, why do they waste so much time waiting for Picard to actually say pursuit course engage? Just start following the goddamn ship.
What time is it?
It's 2:22.
Thank you. At 4. I think it's 4 to 6, unless it's 2 to 4.
And Worf rejoins the crew.
I have enough. I'm okay.
The Defiant.
More in a few days.
Adrift but salvageable.
That's
Tough little ship. Little. And of course they could use some help at tactical. Why bring in an experienced Enterprise crewman? We'll just bring Worf in. I mean, yes, it's a little bit of a downgrade from being captain of the ship that you were about to destroy to ram the cube, but so they're going to do a temporal vortex and maybe start shooting at it. I don't know. Maybe just start shooting at it before it creates a temporal vortex. You're certainly within range. A temporal wake? Is that a thing? And Worf is the first one to notice Earth has changed. Methane, 9 billion. Borg. All Borg. They went back and assimilated Earth and changed history. And Dr. Crusher says, but why are we still here? And of course, the quantum wake protected them. Sci-Fi Nation says it is when it's the Borg, Bird o' Prey. Actor says better put Gremlins 2. Gremlins is good analogy for the flock. Ms. Lundell says the Enterprise E is ugly to him. It's too big. Cinnabon says I think this movie would have been better without the time travel. I don't know if you can do it without the time travel. Actor says New York is cold this time of year. Just put a tube from the outside to your laptop. Yes, to keep it cool. I've honestly thought about that. Not for laptops so much, but for refrigerators. It feels ridiculous that in a climate like New York, where a quarter of the year it's barely above freezing and often below freezing, that I need to waste electricity on cooling anything. Houses should have a vent that connect to refrigerators to just pump in outside cold air when it's cold enough and shouldn't need to use the compressor. And we see Zephyr Cochrane and Lily. And Lily sees the light in the sky. That's the Borg cube attacking. And even though they're shooting what look to be photon torpedoes that should be bigger than nuclear bombs, they have barely more firepower than a single stick of dynamite. In fact, they could have potentially less firepower than a single stick of dynamite. That poor guy on a bike. This is the rule. This is why you should never ride bikes, people. I think it's kind of ridiculous the Borg would specifically target the site of first contact. What would it really matter if it was first contact happened or not? If the Borg assimilates Earth, you know, if they came in China and started assimilating Earth from China and first contact still happened, so the hell what? That's not going to change anything. In fact, it might make them be able to assimilate Vulcan easier, quicker. But whatever. These are things you don't worry about. It's 4 photon torpedoes, quantum torpedoes. Ba-boom. Location. They were shooting at your vineyard. No! Picard says we have to go back in time and protect my vineyard at all costs. The day before first contact. They came here to stop first contact. That doesn't make any sense. Sci-Fi Nation says Bird thinks 3-dimensionally. Ramming speed. DJ says Cisco didn't want to go. Bad memories from the last Borg fight. Cisco would want to be right on the front of the ship to get some Borg payback. He'd be like, "This is for my wife, bitches," and just start shooting the defiant full weapons. Sci-Fi Nation Bird of Prey Picard heard the collective in his head. Yes, but that means Dr. Crusher missed a Borg implant. Probably more than one. Sci-Fi Nation, you remember how to fire phasers, right? Poor Worf. Doesn't get any respect on the Enterprise. Sci-Fi Nation says leak. I'm not detecting any leaks. Don't you people be in the future? Because quantum. Bozeman, Montana. The USS Bozeman. Oh, I get it. Actor says, why not a week before? Yeah, why not a year before? Why not kill Zephyr Cochrane's mother? Terminator style. DJ says, and yet when they try to clean up the timeline, they leave some Borg in the Arctic for Archer to have to kill. I mean, this is exactly this is... How can you complain? How can you complain about the Death Star surviving and Palpatine surviving if you don't also complain about Borg surviving a fall to the Arctic from this. I mean, they're the same coin. They're the same size. Data jumps down. Lily is a little confused. More than a little. Pumping him full of lead. And it doesn't really affect Data. Greetings. Poor Lily. Blood pressure's not good. Well. I don't think she requires medical attention. She just needs a good smack to the face. She does have theta radiation poisoning. Prime directive. Isn't inconvenient. The transporter works with all that radiation. Geordi, you've got eyes. Geordi has eyes. Excuse me. I guess after generations, and the second time the ship gets destroyed, well, the people get killed due to his visor, at least the second time, possibly the third time, that people, take advantage of his visor. He finally decides to get actual eye implants. In Sci-Fi Nation, she doesn't need any medical attention, just a smack to the face. Yes. And they're gonna touch it. Yeah. And just look, that is what Data is supposed to look like. Not what we saw in Star Trek Picard trailer. Right, that only makes it worse. Makes it seem more real. And Anti-Tracker just uploaded a video. And there's Counselor Troy asking if they'd like to be alone. Picard says there's nothing more important to him than the ship. It was his dream. And Troy says we need to consider the possibility Cochrane was killed. And Picard's like, the future may die with him. Of course it's not going to die with him there, Picard. Nobody knows why environmental systems have gone crazy. Maybe call security when you clearly see a shadow going there. Maybe do a sensor sweep. And you, who clearly heard him scream, maybe you should call security. Or are you security? You look more like engineering. Bring a phaser. Cinnabon says, stop me tooing that rocket. Sci-Fi is really into it during a bird stream. I said, it's okay. We can release videos during streams. Wesley Crusher says, bird of prey, greetings, birds, turds, and alpacas. Wesley says, this is my favorite Star Trek movie. Because Wesley Crusher isn't in it? Sci-Fi Nation says, maybe we have an intruder alert alarm. Yeah, maybe. And I love this. They're walking briskly for no reason. They have nowhere to walk to, but they have to walk briskly just for dramatic effect. There was zero reason to go walk anywhere. We've already seen they can be beamed right from next to the missile. You lost contact with Deck 16 and you were sitting on your ass in the bridge. So you lost internal sensors and you didn't think that that was any reason to send like the entire security team to engineering. Why were your shields down? Can't communicate. Oh, he has data lock out the main computer. What's a fractal encryption code? Isn't it nice of the Borg to leave life support on for all the other decks? She's not that ugly. Oh, we get the EMH. Hi, Doctor. An analgesic cream. It upsets me a little that Voyager gets a cameo, but well, I guess you get Worf from DS9, but that's not the same. That's not the same. Worf was always part of TNG. I mean, they could have brought O'Brien too, right? Why not bring O'Brien as well? I gotta be honest, O'Brien has a good agent. O'Brien gets some top-notch DS9 time. He gets far more DS9 time and stories than his character should. So he's got to have a pretty good agent that can get him episodes totally about him. But he couldn't get him in the movie. Why aren't all weapons on a rotating modulation to begin with? Oh, the penis guns. This might not be appropriate for YouTube. Sometime Borg don't appear as a life sign. Wesley says, is Wesley in any movie other than Riker's Wedding? Not that I know of. I don't know. It seemed interesting. And here's Troy trying to not be drunk. Yes, maybe they should upload that shape that was designed to destroy the Borg. Cisco would have been great, says John DeMarco. I agree. Sci-Fi Nation, because O'Brien would actually know more than Geordi. That's probably true. Continuum Track says, yeah, but all his EPSs were O'Brien's must suffer. That's true. So Troy actually found Zephyrin Cochrane. Wesley says Data is his favorite character. Friend of yours? Yes. Husband? No. Good. Deanna. This is the good stuff. To the Phoenix. May she rest in peace. And Riker's laughing at Troy trying to drink real alcohol. Troy, this is no time to argue about time. We don't have the time. Something called tequila. Like you don't know what tequila is in the future. Sure, it's a primitive culture. You're blended, all right. Continuum Track with a €2.29 euro or pound? Oh man, why do I always make this confusion? Euro super chat. Funny how we are both doing watch parties though. You're doing a watch party too, Continuum Track? Oh, tonight. Well, for me it's not night. But I didn't realize you were Continuum Track. I'm sorry. What are you doing? Let's see. What is Continuum Track up to? Oh, I don't see any live videos from Continuum Trek right now. So what's on the agenda, Continuum? Yeah, I have to think about it, Hector. I realize it's the euro. Once I think about it, the pound has kind of a flat bottom. Resolute says, no, she's Beta Z rich girl. All she knows is mixed drinks. That's true. DeAndre 3 says, in Voyager, Netflix dances to Zephyrin Cochrane's favorite music in one episode. Adra says, knowing Troy altered states, I hope she's on the pill. DJ says, Bird don't care as long as he's getting paid. And now we learn that Data could deactivate the emotion chip whenever he needs to. And Picard envies Data. See, poor goddamn anti-trekker had to point out that these phasers look like they have a marital aid on the front of them, and now I can never unsee it. I never noticed it. I never noticed it till anti-trekker. And now he's partly ruined the movie for me. Well, maybe you should have been looking out for her. The woman from the 21st century who got separated. Why? Why would they put ribs on it? Oh, best of both worlds in 3 hours. Okay, very cool. I'll be done long before then. So guys, check out Continuum Track for Best of Both Worlds. Kind of the prequel to this movie. Thank you, Continuum Track. Yeah, it takes me an extra minute to process which is which. Joseph says, will be midnight for me. Maybe we'll join. DJ says, actor, abortion is easy in the future. They just beam the baby out. Oh my God. Why did I read that? There's a doggy outside. Sassy's gonna bark. Hector missed that episode, Discovery. I'm sure they'll do one. Uh-oh, you woke up the Borg. So Worf gets off 2 shots himself, plus a third one that he hits with the phaser. Data gets off a couple of shots. Although, why does Data have the small phaser now instead of the rifle? They've adapted. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey. Don't let Anti-Tracker and his microscopic anal analysis of the movie get you down. Frame by frame analysis broken down into 300 parts is no way to review a movie. Data looks like he was having a little too much fun there, choking out that Borg. Data is a Borg killing machine. That was a lucky shot. Don't let them touch you. And then Data gets pulled. Pulled through the door. Wesley says, DJ, Bird will read anything. DJ says, I can't believe Bird actually read that. Laughing. Help me! Please help me. I'll kill you. He saved him by killing him. Yeah, Captain Picard can be unborgified. 7 of 9 can be unborgified. But you can't. And there's Lily thinking she's going to strangle Picard. What faction? What's the Eastern Coalition? Is the Eastern Coalition the eastern half of the United States? Are they at war with Montana? I'll be honest. I'm with the Montana Coalition. The Eastern Coalition, they sound like they're assholes. And there's no thing. Why can't Data get out of that? I think he doesn't want to get out of it. Isn't it funny how the Borg put that decorative little plasma thing behind everybody's head when it clearly serves no function? Joseph says if it was Star Wars, it would be a ray gun, R-E-Y. DJ says Eastern Coalition was Russia, China, and North Korea. Really? Wesley Bird of Prey Data only loved Tasha Yar. He was only playing with the Borg Queen. Oh, I don't know about that, Data. I don't know, Data. They were able to get codes out of C3PO, and you're pretty similar. Okay, I'm not going to read those, Cinnabud and Yosef. A group of cybernetic creatures from the future. And this is why Zephyrin Cochran is going to get drunk in the future and start telling a story to people. Sassy, who is it, baby? I don't see anybody outside anymore. Oh, is it? Why is somebody using a leaf blower? Are there any leaves left? Saturdays are leaf blower Saturdays around here, and Sassy doesn't like it. So they got the old Enterprise and the telescope trick. So you're all some kind of astronauts on a Star Trek.
Yep, that's what it is, the leaf blower. 2 houses there.
Sci-Fi Nation, Anti-Tracker was trolling Bird of Prey, lol. I didn't even see Anti-Tracker say anything. Is it his video that's trolling me? Wesley Bird of Prey, Data likes to show off that he is fully functional. Yes, that is true. No, I mean like E.T. Like phone home. Not really first contact. Since in Enterprise, Vulcans did come down in Carbon Creek. Because of AOC. Oh, no, not because of AOC. You're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek. Yeah. Be smacked in the face for that. He says, why not? Ms. Londell says, E.T. Eddie Torres, the extra testicle? No. Vile Mike says, howdy, folks. Welcome, Vile. That's creepy. That's creepy too. Yes, let's just open doors. No sensors. No drones you can throw in. Deflector control. Deflector control is not a vital system. You can't fly without the deflector. And this is where Picard throws Lily out the airlock. Get you out of here, sure. Here it is. And he depressurizes the bay and she goes sucked out into space. Oh, no, that's not what happened. Why wouldn't you be in an equatorial orbit? Maybe they are. It didn't seem like they were. Lily what? Lily Skywalker. Welcome, immortal Treknee. Qapla. Blown out, sucked out, whatever, sci-fi. Let's look at a big piece of open ocean. Yeah, besides being from space, we're also from the future. Darren would disagree with the view, says Joseph. That is true. I agree, Mr. Londell. It's very dangerous. If power, power goes out even for a second, everybody's dead in that room. She's the beginning and the end and the one who is many. I call bullcrap. That was a pretty interesting effect, how they put the Borg Queen head on its body. She brings order to chaos. Bird missed the data line from the TNG reference. Sad, Sci-Fi Nation. Deflector control sounds familiar for some reason. Oh, did Data say blown out? Oh, you're right, I missed it. I'll be honest, I missed it. John DeMarco says, the Queen, Anti-Drecker's favorite part of the movie. The Borg Queen is trying to stimulate Data. A line data set in the early season, Bird. Well, if it's an early season, I've kind of mental blocked a lot of those episodes. When watching Conspiracy, oh my God, the CGI was so terrible. Even in the Netflix release where they HD upgraded it, the CGI or whatever, it was claymation of that goddamn thing crawling up the guy's arm at the end. Terrible. The worst effect in any Star Trek movie, including the original series. The worst special effect of all time. No, you don't try to get back whenever you can, Captain. The Borg sounds Swedish. Episode 2, The Naked Time. Gotcha, Joseph. They still call it a cockpit. The economics of the future is somewhat different. Sure, money doesn't exist in the 24th century. You just mean physical cash doesn't exist. It is if you're Ferengi. Picard knows what he's doing. Communist, yes, DJ. Yosef says cash has no meaning in the age of replicators. But not everybody gets a replicator. I mean among civilians. Ms. Lundell says, Bird of Prey, bear in mind that they had to do the entire effects scene on really, really cheap. Claymation seemed to come in under budget or the cost was acceptable to the studio. I understand in a TV show, especially the first season of a TV show that probably costs a lot of money to make. You don't have a hell of a lot of money for expenses, and you need to save as much money as possible. And I can understand people saying maybe claymation would be the best option, but Jesus Christ. Nikki the Nose. I don't understand. Did Lily get to change clothes? Did Picard say, here, change into this? Or is that something that just happened when she entered the holodeck and she's not actually have such an open shirt? See, they could have had Vic Fontaine in here. Picard says, looks at me, try to act naturally, and then he's looking away, looking directly at Nikki the Nose. Wesley's Bird of Prey, what bad special effect are you talking about? I'm talking about in Season 1 Conspiracy, where the parasite creature is walking up the arm of the guy, the Admiral at the end, and then goes into his mouth. But specifically as it walks across the floor and then up his leg and then up his arm and into his mouth. That was the worst special effects of all. And here's where we get a Tommy gun killing the Borg. This reminds me of Home Alone. Keep the tip, you filthy animals. They should issue Tommy guns to all Starfleet security officers. Why would the neuroprocessor be in its belly? Ensign Lynch. So the Starfleet tricorder just happens to be able to read the Borg neurochips. Wesley agrees that was a terrible episode. Barclay! Really, Geordi? You need sunglasses? Your fancy eyes can't transition to sunlight? Joseph's is better in the belly than in the rectum. Mr. Londell says, Bird of Prey, funny how Jean-Luc would know all of the names of the crew. Why did you have to beam Barclay down? Sci-Fi says it's the Stevie Wonder look, Bird. Stop hating it. John DeMarco says the sunglasses were to hide the artificial eyes. Well, he didn't hide them just now. He gave Cochrane a good look at them. Zephyrin Cochrane High School. Yeah, this is definitely telling somebody too much info about the future. A 20-meter tall statue. I gotta take a leak. I'm not detecting any leak. He means a Jaloja. Oh, Jaloja. I get it. Very funny. Nobody reported you assimilated. Oh my God. Picard says, I found something you lost. That's treating the woman as property. That is very, very offensive on two reasons. Lily just sat in the captain's chair. Oh, an interplexing beacon.
Like that.
How do you know where the Borg are in the 21st century? Or just assimilate Earth now.
You good? You got water?
Zero G combat training.
You good girl? You gonna let me eat? Okay. Try to get up. We'll take care of it.
April in Montana looks like summer. Damn global warming. That is true. I mean, this has got to be like August in Montana. Yeah, Sassy. Sister O'Prey is leaving, so Sassy's saying goodbye. If you could remodulate it, why didn't you remodulate it before? Take care, sis. Watch your caboose, Dix. Wow. Okay, this shot did kind of give me a little bit of a sinking feeling in my stomach when I realized they were upside down. I know there's no up in space. Anti-tracker, I am not going to read that one. Thank you, Immortal Technique. She is a good doggo. Sci-Fi Nation says Cisco Prey on the way for all your monies, DJ. She might be. She might be. And why would the Borg waste their time? I mean, I know why. But working some fake skin for Data's arm. Yes, he always talks this much. Andy Higgins, Bird of Prey will skip my comment when you've been talking about. I have. So, okay, the Borg said they were exactly like humans. They were exactly like humans. Biological, flawed. That means they weren't single-celled amoebas. Anti-Trekker. There goes your Borg theory. There goes the Borg theory. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, I don't know about anyone else, but I have more than 2 guys with me spacewalking if I was going to engage the Borg. Maybe they only have 3 spacesuits on the entire Enterprise, and replicators are down. Also, they just happen to fit Worf and the other 2 people, and Picard and whoever the 3rd guy was. The no-name guy that certainly is going to return from this mission. Anti-Turkish says, did she say exactly like humans? She said they were biological. Okay, you got me there, Anti-Tracker. Yeah, Data, nobody's believing you. Sci-Fi Nation says, I think Anti-Tracker has a big black gun obsession. Bird of Prey, seeing as you didn't say anything about it. Oh yes, that's Lieutenant Hawk. Thank you, Vile. Lieutenant Hawk is not coming back. Do it! Do it! It's like Palpatine. Do it. John DeMarco, how could you forget Hawk? He's the most important character in the movie. Uh-oh, here she asks about physical forms of pleasure. He is fully functional. Eight years, 7 months, 16 days. Yeah, but maybe he has standards and you're just not attractive to him. Yeah, you see, that's the problem. Even Data, I don't think, would find her particularly attractive. We should bring reinforcements. There's no time. Well, you could have just brought them from the beginning. So if they shoot the deflector with a little handheld phaser and it's charged with anti-protons, it could destroy half the ship. So why doesn't every enemy ship target the deflector dish every time they're in an attack? They could destroy half the ship with a mere small phaser blast. Even from a handheld phaser, destroy half the ship. Wesley says, as part of Prey, I'm pretty sure Data likes his women human. I agree. DJ says, because it deflects. Actor says, Anti-Tracker, did you see him playing Postal 2? It became frightening at times. Anti-Tracker says, good point. Guess the movie is even dumber than I thought. Way to go. We all know that touchscreens don't work through a spacesuit. That's what's a lot believable. Sci-Fi Nation says Bird of Prey because deflectors do what? Deflect, Bird. And the Enterprise wasn't deflecting when they shot it. Well, why isn't it deflecting? The time travel causes it to become charged with anti-protons. That doesn't make any sense. If there were anti-protons in the deflector dish, they would be reacting with the regular protons, turning into antimatter and exploding. Matter cannot become charged with antimatter. It doesn't work like that. That's not how any of this works. Joseph is saying they're not capacitive touchscreens, they're resistive. Even in orbit, you need to have deflectors on. You never know when a piece of space junk could come flying at you from the other direction. Actor says, Bird is right. Preach it, Bird. I am, Actor. Because they're unhooked it, Bird. That could be. But the ship is very unsafe without its deflector dish. Maybe that's one of the Borg that lands in Antarctica. It makes it through re-entry. very interesting override system. They've adapted. Really? You let go of the phaser? You could still use it to hit him. Hit him in the face. It still extends your reach. DJ says, ah, look, Frank and Fred. No! There's no Frank and Freddy Borg. So it's okay to shoot at the deflector dish if you know where you're shooting. Oh, and isn't useful Worf brought his mechleth with him. No, not Worf. Come on, don't fail us now, Hawk. Hawk. Oh no. That's not very Borg-like. Throwing the guy off the ship. Picard can't pull it out. There it goes. How fancy. Now you can tell this scene was shot in gravity because that steam is falling back to the ground when it shouldn't be. If it was in outer space, that steam would be evacuating, would be probably be invisible because it'd be coming out so fast, and it would not be being pulled back down towards the deflector dish. Each one is harder to turn than the one before. And that's it. There's nothing they can do about it. Uh-oh. It's half assimilated Hawk. Punches Picard in the face. Wearing... And Worf shoots him. Vile Mike says the steam particles are being attracted back to the charged deflector dish. I don't think so. Yoza says maybe due to so many artificial gravity generators, it seems like it's being pulled down. Possibly. Assimilate this. That was required. Picard has a smashed face mask. And him and Worf are going to return. Big surprise. 3 guys go out of the ship and only 2 come back. I wonder who's not coming back. Captain Picard, Commander Worf, or Lieutenant Hawk. DJ says DNA came back, and he is the father. DJ, oh, Richie Poole's the father. Vile Mike says, okay, it looked like Worf blew up Garfield. Yeah, just what it looks like. Sci-Fi Nation, I had a customer walked in and I missed the end of your deflector rant. I'm sorry, Sci-Fi Nation. And it triggers his true story. The reason they did not have black guns in this scene, it was stuck inside Hawk. Wow. Hawk isn't gay. I'm muting the mic, but I'm still listening. I'll be right back. They're shooting blanks. Get some Tommy guns. This is it. This is it. Jean-Luc, we destroyed the ship. We destroyed the Borg. We're going to stay and fight. Worf says, we have lost the Enterprise. We are not going to lose the Enterprise. Not to the Borg, not while I'm in command. You have your orders. I must object to his course of action. It is. It's noted. With all due respect, sir. I believe you're allowing your personal experience with the Borg to influence your judgment. You're afraid. If you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand. Get off my bridge. Picard throws Worf off the bridge. Lily's going to talk some sense into him. So Beverly's in charge? Worf leaves the bridge and Beverly's in charge? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. If they could get power to one replicator, they could make those Thompson machine guns, says Mr. Lundell. That is true. Beverly is a bridge officer with the rank of commander, but there tends to be other people with higher ranks. Anti-Triggers, I think this Picard would be epic if it was Picard and Cisco, but reverse the positions. Yeah. In my century, we don't succumb to revenge. Who the hell are you talking about? She says, bullshit. Bullshit! That's a curse word in a Star Trek movie. How dare you? You're gonna kill me like you killed Ensign Lynch? Oh my god. Captain Ahab has to go hunt as well. Right, that's what made him think. That is what made him think. This is like saving the future humanity. Blow up the damn ship. No! No! And he smashes the glass. And the Enterprise D takes the brunt of the phaser. And of course it's glass. It's not transparent aluminum. He will not sacrifice the Enterprise. Made too many compromises. Too many retreats. They invade our space and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds and we fall back. Not again. The line must be drawn here and no further. And I will make them pay for what they have done. Sounds like Gul Dukat. I will make them pay for what they have done. These goddamn Bajorans. Your ship. You broke your ship. Aw. No, Troy broke the ship. I just made it look like it did when I last saw it. Yeah, Ensign Lynch was an asshole. Says Vile Mike. Anditrix says Picard losing it is just wrong. I gotta say I agree. I agree. And for all the other crew members to just sit there and nobody it's not Lily's job to convince Picard of the right way. Moby Dick, she never read it. I never read Moby Dick. She just heard people talk about Captain Ahab. Captain Redneck, action hero Picard never sat right with me. I'm a diehard TNG fan. Intellectual Picard is the best. And Anti-Turkey says, oh sure, Captain Redneck, now you agree with me. Where was that when I did my review? Jerk. So we're back to Intellectual Picard. Maybe take the gun with you, Lily. Just in case he gets out of line again. Prepare to evacuate the Enterprise. You're all going to become part of 21st century or 22nd century Earth. Picard 47 Alpha Tango. What type of password is that? 22 Beta Charlie. Worf shouldn't even have a code on this ship. 37 Gamma Echo. They all have 4-character codes. 15-minute silent countdown. Enable. And it still counts down. There'll be no further audio warnings. What if I didn't want any warning? Plenty of letters left in the alphabet. Mr. Worf, didn't I tell you to get off my bridge? I regret some of the things I said to you earlier. Some! Oh, you're the bravest man he's ever known. Gravette Island. So there's gonna be Klingons living on Earth. That's not gonna screw with history. I mean, if Picard really wants to save history, he should tell all the non-human crew members to remain on board during self-destruction. That it's best for the timeline. Troy? Really? Troy is the one doing the ignition sequence? His MP3 player. Oh, let's just stand right here. We're not going to get vaporized by this rocket shooting into orbit. People get that close to NASA rockets all the time. Track 95 says Bird of Prey. I agree. All non-humans should have stayed. DJ says can't blast off without magic carpet ride. Anti-Trigger says Picard. Enable self-destruct. Password. And they blow the stages and out come the warp engines. Aw, look how much they look like TOS warp nacelles. Orders to find a quiet corner of North America and stay out of history's way. You can't leave. Biomike says, Bird of Prey, you obviously don't know how underground launch silos vent exhaust. What about once they clear the silo? Biomike. Sci-Fi Nation, so what actually powered the Phoenix? It wasn't dilithium or antimatter. No, I think it was just, you know, chemical rocket to get it into orbit. And then it was probably a fusion generator once it was in orbit. They probably have fusion generators at this time. Andy Trigger says, yeah, now that would be epic. Have Bird in the genital pit of the rocket. Agnes says bird rocket equals no first contact. While Mike says it was petrol and rum, says Hector. Miss Londell says the Captain Redneck, bear in mind, Picard was under a great deal of stress during the event. We've never seen this character under so much stress. I think we kind of had. Oh, so Picard's password is password and Crusher's password is 12345. Uh-oh, she recognizes Locutus. How could you forget me so quickly? You didn't exist. Anti-Trigger says you don't need antimatter or dilithium, but antimatter gives you almost unlimited power, and dilithium makes warp field more stable. Captain Redneck says that's one of thousands of Borg queens. Vile Mike says bird of prey, by the time the rocket leaves the silo, the gas expansion is so quick that the rocket is moving so fast that the safe zone is only about 100 meters up to. Well, I'm going to say they look closer than 100 meters. And two, this rocket was not moving particularly fast. But I understand. I'm glad to know that if I ever find myself by an actual missile silo and the missile actually goes up, I only have to be a couple 100 meters away to be safe. Because I would have kept running. Team MRHS, the Borg Queen, is illogical to the extreme. Don't worry about it. Don't think too much about it, Team MRHS. Josh eats Bird of Prey, giving Anti-Trigger favorite Star Trek movie of all time. A hard time, shame on you, Bird. And I put The Night Before Bird of Prey on antitracker.com for you. Oh, thank you, Josh Street. I'm just nitpicking. I still like the movie. I nitpick through every movie, including Star Trek 4, 6, and 2, which are my favorite movies. Welcome home, Locutus. Now she's two-timing Data. Data is free to go. Why is Data even in an alcove? He does not wish to go. No, Data. He will make an excellent drone. Oh, Picard, you've been betrayed. Betrayed by your best android friend. Vile Mike says, Bird of Prey, it's okay. Glad I could educate you. But if you do see a rocket like that being launched, I would still recommend you kiss your butt goodbye, as that means Trump hit the button. Well, I'm sure if he hits the button, he has very good reason to. So the Vulcans don't detect the Enterprise in orbit. Just the fact that there's a warp signature. No, they're not here to give you a send-off. They're here to destroy you. Warp threshold. No, you're not approaching light speed. You're barely moving. Stop lying. Watch your futures end. Missed them. Wow. And Picard wasn't tied down. He was just sitting there. They're coming for the Borg Queens. She's got away quite a bit, right? I mean, those cybernetics, they can't be light. That is a terrible cockpit. You can't see what's in front of you. That's not going to pull Picard down. Ah, there goes her biological distinctiveness. And Captain Picard plays Tarzan. Captain Redneck says the Moon MacGuffin magically hid their warp signature from the Vulcans. Interesting. Team MRLS says, like I said, the Borg Queen is super illogical. And then there's a debate over what is impulse speed. I guess that chemical wasn't like deadly. It was easily sucked out. Blown out, excuse me. So she really had very little biological material. Her entire head and spinal column are metal. Sounds like... Why would breaking off part of the spinal column kill it? Data looks worse than he feels. Miss Lindell says the coolant was pumped out. Sucked, blown, pumped. Jesus Christ. No, she wasn't unique. Picard said she was unique. No, she wasn't. Data says for a time he was tempted. 0.68 seconds. That's an eternity. Yes. Data says if she'd been a redhead, he totally would have done it. Shame on Captain Redneck. What did Captain Redneck say? Sucked, blown, good either way. Oh, that's not... There's nothing shame to be. No shame there. So, here come the Vulcans. Those are not my favorite things, Vile. Why do Vulcans have such illogically looking ships? Where's the logic in that? And where's the logic in doors that open like that? Why do Vulcans wear robes all the time? They just getting out of the shower? This is why humans are the hillbillies of the galaxy. And Lily, why isn't Lily? Yeah. Go with them, Lily. You were supposed to be on that ship. Weren't you? There you go. No, you should be walking with them. I love in Enterprise when they do this in the mirror universe. How Zephyrin Cochrane pulls a gun out and shoots them and yells, "Take their stuff and take the ship." Oh my God, they have different shaped ears. We're really among aliens. Is that really the best thing to say to somebody you've never met? Live long and prosper? Is that a threat? Thanks. Yes. Let's beam us up. Certainly they're not going to detect that. Joseph says the music is epic. Track 95 says, Bird, I was thinking the same thing. Pull a gun on them. Sci-Fi Nation, are you threatening me? Actor says if Bird was in first contact, it'd be no second contact. Miss Lindell says there's actually very little logic in the design of Starfleet vessels. I will grant you that in Alpha Canon. There is a book, I forget its title, but it explains that the general design of Starfleet ships, where the main mass of the ship is a bit off-center and from the engines, that it makes for the most efficient design. And it also says that the shape of the Starfleet Delta is actually the warp power versus engine, the warp speed versus power curve or something. And it's an interesting book. Unfortunately, I read it so long ago I forgot the title. Yeah, no, the Vulcans didn't notice any of that. How convenient. You gotta teach the Vulcans how to dance. Actor says Bird is channeling Brie Larson. I wish. Sci-Fi Nation's Vulcans probably didn't have transporters. Human invented it for pre-Federation ships. Hum the theme. Dun da da dun da da dun da dun 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 da da dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. John DeMarcos' great version of the theme, Bird. Thank you. Captain Redneck. Anti-Trekker missed the doo-doo song. Sci-Fi Nation says those Vulcans were illogical. They didn't leave anyone with the ship. Well, there could have been a couple of people that never left the ship. We don't know. DJ can hear this at the end of an Anti-Trekker stream. Joseph says a Grammy for Bird. I'll take it. Mike Richards says humans are the hillbilly of the galaxy. Oh, that's not my quote. That's from Enterprise. Or, oh no, that wasn't Enterprise. Excuse me. That was the Orville. I was confusing the Orville with Enterprise. That was the Orville. That was what, the Salayan, what's her faces, the first Salayan's father said, who was played by the Doctor, Robert Picardo. He said that humans were the hillbillies of the galaxy. Actress's best dramatic rendition of an original score. That's the Grammy. Sci-Fi Nations is more like the beginning, DJ. Josh Reed says Bird is drunk the Kool-Aid, and they are giving out the Rise of Skywalker. Actress says maybe there's a baby Yoda inside that ship. And Sci-Fi Nation says Trek exists in the Orville universe. Right, because Seinfeld exists in the Orville universe, and Star Trek is mentioned in Seinfeld. Therefore, ipsum, Star Trek must exist in the Orville. Actor says that Kool-Aid seems to have been only half a point's worth, though, Josh. Da-da. You see, I'm actually listening to the ending music in this movie. That's usually I cut the mute, I stop it, I mute it by this point, but I'm actually listening to it. The DJ says, F Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda sucks. I am Groot. So, I mean, listen, this was a fun movie. Yes, it has its issues. Like if you're going to nitpick, you will find plenty of things to nitpick, like you would on any Star Trek movie. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Is it Captain Picard? No, Captain Picard isn't himself at times. But still, it's fun. I could watch this movie 2 or 3 times in a row. And Vile Mike says the phrase is ipso facto. Thank you, Vile Mike. Ipsum gracem, ipso facto. Karoga has slightly different tongue. Cyber Agent Vertebrae wants some grape Kool-Aid, spaghetti, fried chicken. I would eat all of those things. I would eat all of those things. Those things are delicious. Okay? Those things are delicious. Every single thing you listed there is delicious. Except the fruit. Captain Redneck says every movie has issues. Indeed they do. And Joseph Petrick, next week, Insurrection. Oh shit. No, don't play again. No, it's starting to play again. We'll pause it. Oh, you guys aren't seeing it play again. That's because you guys have a separate player on, and what are you guys seeing? You guys are just seeing a blank screen. Okay. Let's give you guys something to put on the screen for the extra minute while I talk. Here we go. Does that look good? Can you see Picard and Lily? Yeah, you can. Okay. So this afternoon, I'd like to try to get my real laptop working, but I also want to do a quick review of Rise of Skywalker. I'm not sure what I'm going to do first. The Rise of Skywalker review is going to be really simple. It's just going to be audio. Oh, and UPS is coming with the second fan. The second fan has made it. So we've got a fan and a backup fan. Hopefully it's the same fan. So that's good. Oh, the signature is required. Oh. Okay. So this one came 2 days late. The other one came like a week late. So yeah, I want to do a short review of Rise of Skywalker where I give my explanation for the ending, which I think makes the ending less terrible than everybody thinks it is. And I also found a new force power that everyone, no matter how big of a Star Wars fan they are, I listened to 4.5 hours of Nerdrotic streaming, and I listened to a ton of other shorter reviews in the last day and a half, and nobody else has mentioned this force power. It seems like everybody has ignored this force power. I found a completely new force power that has just gone unmentioned. So besides the review, I'm going to explain the ending, why it's really not the worst ending it could be. Yes, it could have been better, but it's not as bad as it could be. It's not as bad as you think. And I'm going to tip everybody off to the completely ignored force power that had never actually been used before. So we'll see. Joseph says, did you sail the high seas? My lawyer says I should not. I take the fifth. I take the fifth. Joseph's mom loves Insurrection, so he has to like it as well. Unless Sis So Prey really makes me do Ghostbusters next. No, we're going to do Onward to Insurrection. Actor says, oh no, not the end of blah 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 explained video. Yes. Captain Redneck says 4 hours on Turd-Rodic, you're a brave man. Well, on Friday, he streams with 5 other people. So it's actually, I mean, listen, to be honest, I like Nerdrotic when he streams, even when he's alone. But on Friday nights, he has a full group of 6 people streaming. And he is not one of the ones who talks the most. So it's a pretty cool stream for a Friday night. And then I also like Doomcock's Friday night stream. But of course, they stream at the same time. So I will listen to Doomcock afterwards. I listened to some of Doomcock last night, but I didn't get through it. Captain Redneck loved the end of The Rise of Skywalker. 10 out of 10. It was awesome. Really, I liked the first half of the movie better. Sci-Fi Nation, Bird of Prey, great stream as always, Bud. Live long and alpaca, everyone. Hope to see you in a few hours. Captain Redneck gives the whole movie an 8 out of 10. I gave it less. Not terrible, but I did give it less. DJ says I liked Insurrection just because it has Donna Murphy, and Captain Redneck like Murphy's boobs. DJ says me too. You've been me too, DJ? Who did it? Who did it to you, DJ? Actor says DJ has a group of 5, not 4, not 3, not 5 people in his streams too. Yes, DJ does as well at times. Mr. Miles, I give the movie a 0 out of 0. Well, that's basically infinitely. Captain Redneck, really, Bird of Prey? I was bored with the first half. The second half picked up very well. Honestly, I was kind of bored with the second half. I thought the first half was better. Now, grant you, there was a hell of a lot of bad editing in the first half. But that's where the first half is where they jammed in a whole bunch of stuff that it could have been a movie on its own. It was the second half where I think they slowed things down. DJ says, Sisso Prey, it Me Too'd me. I'm suing. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't be Me Too'd by a woman, DJ. Mr. Miles says, Bird of Prey, that's my way of saying I haven't seen it. I gotcha. She's waiting for that check, DJ. She is. So my review, I'm going to try to put it up later today, and it is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie and don't want to hear spoilers, just don't watch it. Don't watch it till you see the movie. Now, I will warn people. I already have the script written out. So I do warn people that there are spoilers about like a minute or 2 minutes in before I get to any spoilers. But just for your own sake, it is a spoiler review. So don't click on it if you're not interested in spoilers. Captain Redneck thinks the whole story of The Rise of Skywalker should have been a trilogy, not a single movie. I could get that, Captain Redneck, but and I have to be honest, if Disney announced that they were going to turn the last movie into 3 movies, first, everybody, including me, would have yelled at them for just wanting to make more money. And second, we would have hated the movies anyway, because I just don't think the people they had were capable of making the Star Wars that most Star Wars fans wanted to see. Now, Captain Redneck, you're a Star Wars fan. You liked the movie. I think that is great. I am so happy you did. However, as a matter of fact, there are lots and lots of Star Wars fans who hated the movie. So I'm not saying that you're right and they're wrong, or they're right and you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a matter of fact that the movie was not universally loved by Star Wars fans as the original prequels, the original trilogy more or less was. Now, I know there's people who like Empire a lot more than New Hope or Last Jedi, and people who love Last Jedi over Empire. I get it, but overall, nobody's going to say, oh, I'm never going to watch Empire Strikes Back again because I only love the first, A New Hope. or Last Jedi, or not Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi. So, nobody thinks that way with the original trilogy, but there are people who think that way with the Disney trilogy, that they're never going to watch The Last Jedi again. They're never going to watch Rise of Skywalker again. It's one and done for them. So something's changed, and, I don't think Disney was capable of creating a movie, not with Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson leading, on the team. With a completely different team, very possible. I'd say it's possible. But given what we have, I don't think it would have been possible for them to create a good movie, no matter how many movies they had. They should have just remade. Resolute. Honestly, the best thing they could have done was just said, we apologize, and or not even apologize, but the first minute of or the opening crawl of episode 9 says episode 8 was just a dream. The real story begins now. And then they go into episode 9, which would really be episode 8. And then they throw in a second movie, another extra movie, which would become the actual, it'll be episode 10, but it really would be episode 9. Because one movie turned out to just be a dream. Captain Redneck, Disney won't say poop. Disney doesn't make the movie, Lucasfilm did. Okay, Disney, Lucasfilm, whatever. Disney owns Lucasfilm. They can make calls, but it's just semantics. Actor says, "You will die on that hill, Captain." Sci-Fi Nation Spock was Me Too. That's true, but that's only in TV. Sci-Fi Nation. In real life, men can't be Me Too'd, only on television. Captain Redneck, I know, Bop. I'm in the minority, it seems. I need some food stamps now. I'm sorry, coughing. Josh Reese says, DJ Bird says he hasn't watched a pirated version. I did not. Bird didn't say he hasn't watched. Double negatives. Captain Redneck says, I won't, actor. I know the facts. Disney does not make Star Wars movies. Captain Redneck, episode 9, take 2. That's a great idea. Well, really episode 8, take 2, and then a real episode 9. Joseph says, then they should have done 4 movies, or there'd still be a director's cut 4 hours version. Resolute is not even a dream, just to bring it up never again. See, I like that they explained away the Holdor maneuver as something that should never have worked to begin with. And you can't rely on that. That was a 1 in a million chance, a fluke that it worked. You can't actually fight a battle thinking you can Holdor maneuver into people. And so they didn't do it ever again. Now, the problem is, and I kind of bring this up in my review, so I'm not going to get too far beyond this because we're gonna end the stream in a minute. But basically, I wish they had done more things like the Holdor maneuver, like explaining the Holdor maneuver as saying that, these were one-offs that can never really happen again. The chance of forced teleportation and stuff like that really doesn't work. You have to be a super, super powerful Jedi, and all the moons have to be aligned in a certain way for the midichlorians to be especially reactive for something like that. Something that only happens once every 250,000 years. Andrew says, what director? Ryan, Joseph. Josh reads episodes 9, part 1, and a year later, 9, part 2. I don't know they could honestly do 2 movies a year apart. They had 2 years to do this movie, and they were rushing like crazy. Actor says, nah. Actor says they could have made a good 3rd movie, no 4th needed. Well, they could have I don't know that, honestly, and again, Captain Redneck already thinks they did make a good 3rd movie. So I'm not going to say everybody thinks that, but for the people who don't think they made a good third movie, I think it was okay. I don't think it was great. I don't know if I'd call it good. I'd call it acceptable. Although I was disappointed. It was certainly a disappointing end to Star Wars for me. But I don't know that they could. I don't know. I honestly don't know how much better they could have done given what they had. There's only one thing different that I could think of that would have made it better. I mean, granted, have you changed the entire movie? Sure. But given what they had to work with, I like what Anti-Trekker's suggestion was that Rey actually die. Rey dies in Ben's arms. Rey tells Ben that he's the one that has to, continue what she started. And it's Ben who buries Rey and the 2 lightsabers on Tatooine. And then the lady asks Ben, "Who the hell are you?" And I'm Ben. Ben who? Ben Skywalker. Because that would be understandable. That would be believable. And since we're never making another movie in this tale again, it really doesn't matter that Ben is the hero left standing and not Rey, because supposedly they're not visiting this time again. So it's not that they have to have Rey alive. But they wouldn't do that because it's 2019. It's still 2019 for a few more days, a week or two. DJ's got to run, heading out to the hockey game. Night all and night mama pray. Take care, DJ. Joseph said they should have done 4 movies. I read that one. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna head out. I gotta want to work on this review, and I want to try to get my laptop working. So, Qapla All, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed Star Trek Saturday. Next week, Insurrection. Continuum Track says, I won't remember the last days of 2019. I will be drunk. And guys, remember, Continuum Trek is going live in a couple hours, I believe, maybe less, with a live watch of Best of Both Worlds. So check out Continuum Track. And tonight, Sci-Fi Nation is also going live at some point tonight. Sci-Fi Nation and Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation are going live for his stream, the first stream with Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation. So Continuum Track, it says 1 hour. 1 hour Continuum Track is doing Best of Both Worlds. So, I mean, it's Borg Saturday around here. Very cool, very cool. And Sci-Fi Nation, he'll probably tweet out or something, let people know exactly what time he's going on. Continuum Tracks is Live Long and Qapla, Captain Redneck. Continuum Tracks is yay. Oh, I'll have to check out Sci-Fi Nation's cool. Yeah, Sci-Fi Nation, he does a great stream. And I'm looking forward to seeing him and Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation on his stream tonight. Okay, guys, take care. And Actor says, may life treat you like a happy alpaca.